Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yeah, Jabes.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. Did you guys bring the hurricanes with you? You know how many messages I've gotten about the hurricane?
I mean, if I got messages, I'm sure I would get a couple.
Here's the deal. Yes, I'm a hurricane survivor. Yes,
sure.
I beat the last hurricane.
Right.
Hurricane Isaias. I beat it. Nothing I can do about that. Right? Mm-hmm. Fought it with my two hands, my two legs.
Yep.
All of my fingers and toes.
Sure.
And I beat that hurricane. I get it. Everybody's asking for a hero now. They're saying that I am the one that they deserve. And so if I have to take on Hurricane Laura myself in Texas, yes, I will do that. Man, you can't see it right now, but the burden I shoulder every day is real heavy, James. Real heavy. I'm kidding. Look, that's not how it works, kids. We are in Austin, Texas, which is the central part of the state. Nowhere near where this hurricane is going to be. I checked the weather forecast for us for the next couple days, and I think they said there's a 20% chance of rain, maybe.
Maybe in some parts, but we will be lucky to get an inch.
Yeah, we will. Come on, there's an easy joke right there, James.
No.
No?
No.
Lucky to get an inch.
We'd be lucky to get an inch, but.
Yeah.
But alas.
Kill one of those lights if you can, Giorgio. Go to a single on Jessie. It appears as if I am a ghost from a past century. In another life here. If you're on the YouTubes, hammer the like button. I know we are stuck behind some algorithm. I know it for a fact today. Look, we had, yesterday, I was able to finally see, we're in the new studio, I was able to finally see your comments. And you're like, there's no way there's only this many people with how many subscribers and listeners you have. Like, I fully understand that. And yes, we are definitely stuck behind some algorithm. Hammer the like button to get us going here. Craigers, Dulesky's in the room. He says Jables is looking fire today.
Thank you, Craig. Once again, you know how to get me to read your comment. Everyone kind of knows how to do it because there's no way that I actually look as good as these people make me feel, which is why I've missed you guys so much, because I have been feeling so bad about myself and you guys make me feel so good.
You are the hottest girl on the planet. I'm looking at you right now. I mean, it is crazy. You look like a supermodel. I look like I died 30 years ago, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happened to me. Somebody's saying if I look like Mark Zuckerberg surfing. I'm just covered in a bright white suntan lotion. Just kill one of them, Georgia.
I just put on.
Go to a single of Jessie for the people.
That's
for
not
the people,
the answer.
Give Jessie a single here for the people. Because you look so stunning right now that it's crazy. Not that you don't look like that in real life, because you do.
But here's the thing: like me looking at myself, I don't feel that way. Do you know what I mean? So like, you look great.
No, you do. You do.
Do you know what I mean?
It's coming from right there. It's directly on Daddy right now. I should hide in the shadows at this point, and just really, we can call it a day. You always look amazing, by the way. Amazing.
Okay, so
there's a guy named Dingus
McClingus. Let's just
McCunnilingus. It says Ross looks like cookie dough that accidentally sat out overnight. It's true. I used to work at Papa John's. I look like the dough is pre-made and it's back in the cooler. It's the whitest, pastiest thing you could ever see, and that's exactly what I look like.
Dingus. Dingus, you've really hit the nail on the head. No,
Oh man, as if I wasn't feeling terrible about myself already. Like now we're just going full, we're going all in. Let's lean into it all the way today, James.
Look, I want to say one thing really quick about why we may be a little bit hard to find. Do you think it was the Jellostone thing?
Who knows at this point?
Literally Jellostone.
I want to acknowledge this because I do see these comments all the time, and I get messages all the time. Somebody sent me a screenshot yesterday of them just going through a YouTube tutorial of trying to find our channel. For this one listener, he said, "Hey man, I'm just going to video it. You know, like these videos. AJ Gamble, what's up? And Frank had a better tan than Ross. This is really getting hilarious now." Should I go get a spray tan? What's the deal? Either way, he sent a YouTube tutorial yesterday of, hey man, here's how I had to try to find your video. On this one listener's thing, it is listed as safe for kids, and it's like you have to go through this thing, and it's like, no, this is definitely not safe for kids. We went through the program yesterday, all of the back end of this, and we're marked not safe for kids. So like, clearly something is happening behind the scenes. To get into a deeper conversation, we're not going to stop having guests because we're worried about YouTube blocking us or talking about whatever it is. And Rogan starts on September 1st on Spotify. So video will be available on Spotify. We are talking with them. So that could be an option soon, and hopefully it is. And then we can just tell YouTube to go fuck itself. But I'm hearing everything you're saying, all of the messages. I get it. Again, the only way to beat it is like buttons, like hammer the like button and like comments, but that's about it. To be fair, but I am getting all your messages, and I promise, like I'm reading them. And I watched the 5-minute tutorial video yesterday from one of the listeners. I want to say it was Bill Schofield, maybe. Either way, that's what's happening, and we know we can't stop it. And Jessie looks amazing today. Is an OnlyFans account next for you? Because after reading the Bella Thorne story last night, I think it might be the way she crashed the site. She made $1 million. Actress Bella Thorne, sort of an actress. I'm gonna use the term actress in air quotes there for
right.
her.
Kevin Mills, okay.
Crashed it. Crashed it. And said, "Hey man, we're all good on OnlyFans. We're gonna make $1 million a day." She's up to 2 million now. They fixed the site. She's up to 2 million now in less than 3 days. I don't understand it. Like from an outsider's perspective, I know you guys talk about this on Broettes, but I want to talk about it here because clearly, I mean, I'm staring at you right now. I always say this on the show that you're the hottest girl on the planet, and like whatever the new set is doing to you, it is, you look like you were in another fucking planet. Maybe we should OnlyFans your whole shit and then just retire after that.
Maybe
we'll keep doing shows.
Maybe I'm nicer to Giorgio. Do you know what I mean?
Something.
Maybe Giorgio just likes me a little bit better. Listen, no, it's a process. We're going to get there. I wear a lot of makeup.
You actually don't.
Let's be real.
It's a lie. I've seen you. You don't wear that much makeup.
It's all over.
No.
It's all over my face. But anyway, no such thing as a natural beauty. Said 1 million times. Literally no such thing.
You're as close as it gets. So explain this to me. And I'm being totally dead serious now. Forget that we're married or I even know you. Let's say I don't know you, okay?
Okay.
I look at Bella Thorne, and I don't think she is that attractive. Her nudes are great, and congratulations on that. If you don't remember that story, we did talk about it maybe a year ago where an ex-boyfriend was trying to blackmail her by saying, "Hey, man, I've got these nudes that you sent me and texted me and whatever." And she goes, "Fuck you. I'll put these out on Twitter for free for everyone to see." And it shut it down, right? The guy didn't get any money. And truthfully, her account exploded after that.
Right.
But I don't think she's necessarily that attractive. Whereas you are. Why couldn't you make that kind of money? What goes on behind the scenes at OnlyFans that these people are giving away to make that kind of money?
Okay. So anyone that follows me on Instagram knows it's hard to get a response, right?
You're not a social media person.
Not a social media person. So
Which I like about you,
there's
by the way.
that.
I love that about you.
Thank you. The second, I need to work on it. But the second thing, I asked this on a live show, me and Tiffany both, on our Goodbye to North Carolina show. And we were both like, listen, we talk about this on our show all the time. These girls are making so much money. Like normal ass girls, people that we know, people that were writing into our show. Like we just started an OnlyFans and we made like $5,000 last month. Normal person. Here's the issue.
Do you mind me asking who that is? Like,
no, it was just people that wrote in.
Okay.
That like started.
Hot girls, hot guys. What was the story there?
Yeah, I mean the girls are hot. Whatever. I mean, you have to have some kind of at least good pictures. Now, let me explain the difference between just posting a picture and being hot. So on OnlyFans, you have to, like, people pay for messages. So people are paying you a month to get a certain amount of content and to interact with you on a personal level.
Okay.
So on top of posting pictures of myself, semi-nude, nude, whatever, I would also have to interact with these people on a personal level to the point where they feel like they're getting their money's worth from our interaction.
So you do have to text or some form of communication, right? It's not just pictures?
It's not just pictures.
Okay. Gotcha.
And there's like little things, features that they add where you make a message and you say like, you can sign up for good morning messages. And in order to open one of the messages, you need to pay a certain amount of money. So you don't know if it's going to be a nude, if it's going to be a vagina, if it's just going to be a face going, good morning. You're not sure, but you've already paid the money for that. So on top of me just feeling like I would never be able to handle the thing where people are paying you for something that I would never feel like was good enough for what they were paying me. Like if I was making $1 million, I was Bella Thorne, I would feel bad that I wasn't, that these people maybe didn't get what their money's worth.
So here's the reverse of that, okay? So Ian Gilfillian, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I might not. YouTube just started this tipping option on here. We're not asking for it, but certainly we'll take the money for it.
Sure.
He just gave you $9.99 and said, Jessie, buy a bottle of Barefoot because the headache will be better than listening to Ross talk about Kanye being president, which is fucking awesome and hilarious. Right. And it's amazing.
The fact that he knows that Barefoot gives you headaches is...
Well, he listens to the show.
He listens.
He knows.
He's really
a
listening, and he's like retaining the information, and I love that.
He's an absolute homie. And Bill's like Bill Schofield, right? Will there be a kitchen in the new studio for Jabel's cooking show, Noodles and Butter? There is a kitchen over there, actually.
Yes, and we are talking about doing cooking segments. Dan is on board with some stuff. We're going to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah.
And our kitchen is awesomely hilarious here.
It is. I'm not sure if we can film
it. There was a tech
it.
company in here who left it from the they modeled it
great.
from the 1970s. So it's really funny, and it's the stove that's still got those numbers on it. It's just set on 420. Obviously, it's all jokes. Even the fucking microwave set on 69, I think.
Sure.
But yeah, we would love to do that show. With the OnlyFans thing, I don't think that they should feel bad. I don't think that Bella Thorne should feel bad. If she's popping up nudes or a nude up there, and it's $5 a pop or whatever it is, I think it's $20 for the month when I was doing my research on her shit, or you get 3 months for 60 or whatever it is, and blah, blah, blah. Right. At that point, if you're making that much money, as an actor or an actress, you can't make that in a movie right now. Can't make that on a TV show right now.
Right. So would you be okay with me doing an OnlyFans?
If you didn't
I've asked you before, and
here's what I'll say with this. I was unaware that you would have to communicate and text all day, because that's the worst thing when you have kids, is trying to stay off your phone. That's what I enjoy about you as a human, is that you're not on your phone all day. I think we've all dated people who are just texting or doing social media all day. you and I are people who hate our phones.
Right.
I hate them. The only reason I use my phone is for work and posting shit for our shows and things like that, right? The normal interactions that you have to do when you have a company. And I mean any company, not just a podcast, but even if you own a hardware store, you should have social media. Posting pictures from the hardware store or whatever it is, right? Just reminding people, hey, man, I'm still alive and I'm doing things. If it was just photos for you, I'd be down to hire a professional photographer. Not nudes, obviously, but, you know, we could put some racy shit up there and, you know, some lingerie maybe.
So what you're saying is you would like to have some kind of control over it.
What?
My OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean,
interesting dynamic that you guys are seeing here.
No, same thing on my account. Like, let's say there was an OnlyFans for dudes, right? And I blasted my dick up there. There is? Giorgio's saying there is.
OnlyFans.
Oh, shit.
OnlyFans is OnlyFans. It's not gender specific, but
you know how many people have asked to see my dick? Like, yeah. I mean, that might get 1 million in a day. Jade.
Look, and
So,
that's up to you.
I would never do that to you, though. Of like, oh, hey, I'm just gonna blast out my dick for a cool mill. Is that cool? Or you know?
You would never do that to me, or you would never do that for me.
Well,
Hello.
if you wanted it, you know.
Look. Now look.
Shit, if we got to 1 million, yeah, I would do tasteful dick pics too, like my dick on a fire truck, like cool settings of my penis, different places. It's the texting and interacting is what would be the bitch of all of it, to be honest with you.
And so we always say on our show, I really am a actual advocate for OnlyFans. In the same way, hear me out, that I am an advocate for like Real Housewives, right? In the sense that if someone needs to get out of a situation, right? Unhappy in a marriage, they have nowhere to go, they've raised kids, they have no money, whatever it may be, they're in an abusive relationship, whatever it is, they've lost their job, I don't know. But if you can get out of whatever bad situation that you're in by showing your butthole,
Yeah.
I say do it.
Okay.
Right? If it gets you to a place where you can be in control of your own finance and situation,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Totally no judgment. It's completely fine. I personally don't want to. Even with like
You've got a great butthole, though.
a great butthole.
Yeah. You know.
It could be better. But anyway, that was not the point.
Why did you say if you're showing your butthole? Is that a thing?
Dude, it's all kinds of things.
Giorgio's saying yes.
You can put stuff up there. Like, it's a real fucking job. Like, you're putting cucumbers up there. You want to make some money?
Wow.
Make some fucking money, right? If you're
Really?
Bella Thorne, you literally just need to give people a window into your life. If you're a normal bitch, you've got to
some stuff in your
work
butthole, yeah.
for it.
You better work.
You better work.
Work it, girl. Put a
but-
cucumber up your butthole, huh?
Look.
No, you're right. Look, just thinking about it out loud.
If it was just some normal bitch and you saw her picture, you'd be like, do I want to see this person nude? But if she's like, click on here to see me put a cucumber up there in real time or something like this, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Sure.
But I will say that it's also a slippery slope, right? So when...
The cucumber or...
All of it. So
Okay.
when me and Tiffany talk about it on Broettes, when we have to talk each other out of doing OnlyFans, is because we heard of somebody someone that just like us, that's made a shit ton of money in a month. And we both have to be like, all right, so why are we not doing it? And we have to remind each other that like, it is a slippery slope. Like you show your feet, right? You go on OnlyFans, you're a feet person.
Yeah.
Then you start messaging with people. Then you have some fucking sugar daddy that's going to do this and this. If you just show your leg up to then I'll give you this much. And it's a slippery slope and you start to lose your mind, I'm sure. And then all of a sudden you're sticking cucumbers up your butt when all you wanted to do was show your feet and make a couple shekels.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So when money is involved and people are able to manipulate you with it, it can go down a weird road. And especially if someone needs money, if they lose jobs, if they're trying to get out of a certain situation, like you don't know how far you're going to go until it's presented to you, right? And I think that's why people are into it, because they think if they have an interaction with you, they can get you to do stuff. They can make you feel bad because they paid this money and they didn't get this and this. And you will start to become, you were in control of something, you will start to become a slave to it, as every job ends up being.
Okay, I'm now understanding this. I learned two things during this convo. I learned about OnlyFans, and I understand the power behind it. We also learned that Giorgio is every bit of the dirtbag that we thought he was.
Sure.
And that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise, actually. And I'm proud of you.
No.
I appreciate the insight too.
I think he follows Cucumber Girl.
Yeah,
for sure.
But look, that's what we need out of a good producer. Is somebody who's all over the internet and into everything. By the way, eventually we're going to get a camera on these guys as well, on Giorgio, so you can see them and their reactions to this in real time. So we will be doing that soon. We got a couple other sets to build. Obviously, we're on the Drinkin Bros set today. But to go back to your thing about controlling someone, I actually knew somebody who this happened to, and long time ago, man. Yeah, I'll say his name. Anyways, I go over to Jared's house for I think one of the very first times I think it's the very first time I ever met him in real life. Yeah, it was. So after a couple days, I knew we were going to be friends and all that shit. Days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Days, Jessie. I knew we were going to be friends, right?
Sure.
And we start getting into convos like this, and he was taking pictures of girls wearing Article 15 clothing. And they were posting on the thing or whatever. One of the pictures he took of one of these girls, he goes, "See this girl right here?" When we were going through the clothing, I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, she has one of those accounts." It wasn't OnlyFans. What was OnlyFans before? It used to be something else. That was like a big site. Maybe it was Snapchat.
Wasn't Patreon before?
Yeah, it was one of those. So, anyways, she had her own like huge house.
Cam Girl?
Yes, I think it was Cam. I think it was Cam Girl.
Because I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, she had this huge house and this thing and whatever, and I was like, man, who's paying for this? Who's paying for this house? Who's paying for these cars? Who's paying for all this shit? It turned out that it was this one old man, like like you were saying, like a sugar daddy. But it kept escalating, like over the months and shit, where it was just like, all right, I will give you $50,000 if I can watch you take a shower in the morning, like just once a week. I want to watch you take it. So she set up cameras in the fucking bathroom and the whole thing, and like it just kept escalating of like cooking nude, just doing different weird shit around the house. And it got to the point where her house was almost set up like a Big Brother style for this one dude. And she was just doing shit for him. But I mean, the last I had heard, and this was a few years ago, homeboy was paying like $400,000 a year. And it was just like, she's like, yeah, is it weird? But you know, these are normal things that I would do throughout my day anyways. Maybe I'm just topless cooking pancakes instead of wearing a top, you know?
Ugh.
Yeah. So I understand now that you're saying it out loud, because it has happened to people. And look, man, it's hard to turn down. It's probably hard to turn down for her if you're like, all right, sweet, man, this guy's going to jack off to me making pancakes topless, like in the morning, with no makeup on. Like it got specific too. It was just like, hey, I don't want you wearing makeup. I want you just out of bed, blah, blah, blah. Like one of them was just peeing when you get up in the morning, like peeing and shit like that. And it was just like, man. But she was making so much money that it was like, yeah. Thorne's not doing that shit though.
Not right now. It's not how it starts though.
Till that Arabian prince calls and says, hey, I'll give you $5 million. You see that cucumber up your beehole.
Yeah.
And we could go there. But yeah, I think that's the shocking one for me is like, I don't find these girls that hot. Like they're not hotter than you in real life.
I mean, thank you.
Yeah. So to hear this amount of money, I'm just like, man, my wife is a lot hotter than these girls. Like, what the fuck is the deal? Like this Gigi Hadid chick, right? Mm-hmm. She's supposedly supposed to be the hottest woman in the world, or whatever her moniker is. What do they call her?
She's a supermodel, right?
Supermodel, yeah. But they always have one that's like the hottest woman in the world, and it's Gigi Hadid, right? And she's got knocked up by one of those dudes from One Direction.
Right.
Zayn. Is it Zayn or Zahn?
I think it's Zayn.
Either way, it's Zayn. Figure the fuck out, bro. There's no reason for that Y to be in there.
Sure.
You know, Jesus, come on, man. Mm-hmm. Either way, people are going bug fuck over their new baby. So she does this baby shoot that's out today, and everybody's so amped about it, right? Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Yes, queen, yes. Meanwhile, on her Instagram stories, there was like a behind the scenes shot of what was going on. Mm-hmm. There's 84 people lighting this bitch.
Yeah.
Like hair, makeup, everything. And it's like, I've seen her in real life. She's just kind of thin and, you know.
Right.
Most of these girls have like an olive head. Mm-hmm. And then like they have a big head. And then it evens out your body on screen. Leonardo DiCaprio's the classic example of this. His head in real life is the size of a fucking basketball.
It weighs 9.5 pounds.
Yes, easily.
The human head usually weighs 8.
8.5, yeah. According to Jonathan Lipnicki from Jerry Maguire.
Which is where I get all my information is actually from Jonathan Lipnicki.
I used to talk in a lisp just because I loved his performance in that movie.
Yeah.
But I when I saw the behind the scenes video of Gigi Hadid getting made up for this thing and the baby and all the shit, I was like, that literally could be anyone. It could be anyone.
Right.
Because I don't think she's hotter than you. And it's like, if you had 84 people fucking when you were pregnant making you look like that, like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Well, a lot of people do these pregnancy shoots close to their due date. I don't do any of that shit. I barely take baby pictures. But
yeah.
So this is actually a natural. It's something that everyone does. She happened to have more makeup and glam, but every woman does. A lot of women, sorry, not every, but does this like right before they're close to their due date. They do a pregnancy photo shoot.
Yeah.
Makeup, professional photographer, everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
So
she had a team of 84 people.
Sure, that's not that weird considering the level that she's at. This makeup, like fully done up pregnancy shoot is not weird.
No, it's not weird, but I'm just saying, my point is this, and this lends itself to the OnlyFans debate as well, where it's like, man, if you have that many people working on you and taking your pictures and all that other shit all day long,
yeah,
I would say probably 80% of women would look that hot if they had that type of glam squad behind their shit. With the Bella Thorne thing, right? She looks great in movies and on television, but up close, she's got some flaws. Mm-hmm. And the only real shit that you know was when she posted her own nudes, where you're like, oh, you took those with a shitty iPhone, the same as everybody else, right? Because we all know the Android camera is better, but none of us will buy an Android. Therefore, we still have the iPhones, you know?
Sure.
But it's like, dude, trying to get the light right and all that stuff on an iPhone. And that is what made her more human to at least me.
Right.
And probably everybody else, because she gained a shit ton of followers after that, which led to this with whatever she's doing now on OnlyFans. But I tell you what, Giorgio, we will pay you to go on her OnlyFans and report back at the end of the week. I'll tell you what, we only got one more show tomorrow. Report next week of what's on there so we can actually go into it. Are you allowed to screenshot this shit? Like, how does that work?
So you're not supposed to be able to, but I guess you can. Yeah. So the whole point of the OnlyFans is that you're not supposed to be able to screenshot it. If it does, it either goes black or notifies you that someone has taken your screenshot. But recently, there is something that you are able to do it. Whether people have figured out how to do it or whatever, but now people are taking screenshots of OnlyFans, and now they have them.
Really?
So the whole point of it was that you would never be able to see what's on it unless you actually paid.
Got it.
But just like with everything in technology, people will find a way around it.
So let's do this.
And figure out.
Let's do this. We'll give you the $20 for the month of Gigi Hadid. Try to screenshot it and do all of the things, and then, or I'm sorry, Bella Thorne. Yeah, Gigi Hadid would be weird with the baby.
Yeah, you don't want to see that
unless they were putting baby shots in there, just right inside the thing.
Or unless if it was pregnant stuff, which people are into.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, let's see the jelly on the belly. Let's see let's hear the heartbeat. Like, let's really get into it. Imagine how much that thing would go for. With the dude from One Direction and Gigi Hadid.
I wouldn't.
I bet you they would. What is it? The sonogram.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you her sonogram video on OnlyFans would go forever. Just because people want to, one, see the baby, and be like, oh, man, feel like they're part of the experience because this baby's going to be royalty.
I don't think those are the
two,
kinds
the sexual
of
parts of it.
People that are paying.
You never know.
I don't think it's a girl that's like, oh, I just want to see that cute baby. Is not usually the OnlyFans demographic. But
I beg to differ on this one with the guy from One Direction, right? And if you get to see their baby in advance before it shoots out, I mean, if you're paying $3 million for People Magazine, let's see that thing inside the tummy, Yeah. Let's see it all in there. AJ Gamble just hit us up and said, how about an OnlyFans for Ross where he does Morgan Freeman jerk-off instructions? That would make cash.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
We also on our show, had, because we do like an advice segment at the end, and someone wrote in and was like, how should I feel if my boyfriend only follows OnlyFans of people we like know? Do you know what I mean?
You got to get rid of that.
But it's part of the whole situation. So like you could actually start following people that you know or that you've met, and now you're interacting with them and seeing nude photos, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a weird corner of the world. And I think it's mostly made for sex workers to be safer, make money on their terms. And in that way, it's great.
Yeah.
But normal people like Bella Thorne getting involved, it's like, fuck you. I'm sure those bitches are like, fuck you. I've been putting cucumbers up my fucking butt for a year.
Yeah.
And Bella Thorne rolls up and leaves like one nip. Like she has a white shirt on and you can kind of see the nipple.
Yeah.
And she gets $1 million. Like, that's the kind of thing that like these motherfuckers pierced. Coming in and ruining everything. Yeah. Again.
Yeah. Look, man, Hollywood is dead. Therefore, you got to look for other means of cash. Again, you can't make that type of money in movies. So, shit, I get it. And her nipple is pierced. So if she's gonna do that in a white shirt, sure, that's $5.
Feel the same way about celebrities coming into the podcast space. I know. Like, look, we get times are tough for you right now, but get out of my space. And I'm sure, again, the fucking dirty ass OnlyFans that have been fucking working that shit forever are like, fuck you, Bella Thorne. Stay in your lane, because we know after you book something or something else comes back, you're going to be gone. But here we are left to fucking deal with your standard that you set.
Here's the deal, man. She'll have walked out with the bag, and it doesn't really matter anyways. So she'll have made millions. If she made $2 million in, 2.5 days?
Yeah.
Fuck. Who knows, man? If I'm looking at that business model and I'm her manager at that point, I'm like, keep the train going, because if you were on, let's say, Riverdale on the CW, right? Let's say you're a lead on Riverdale on the CW. Your contract is $35,000 a show for usually 22 episodes or something like that, right? Congratulations. That is one tit for Bella Thorne, and that's 2 years worth of your work on a show to make what she made in one day. That's what if I'm her manager, that's what I'm telling her. You want to go up and live in Vancouver and shoot that show? Have fun. Or you can just pop out that pierced nip and make a cool mill. Look, Cuomo. If Andrew Cuomo popped out that nipple with that he's got pierced, probably make $50K. You know, Cuomo. I would actually pay $5 to see a 65-year-old man with a nipple ring.
$5?
Yeah, usually that's what it is.
Like
apparently hers is on the high end, Giorgio. Yeah, at $20. Yeah. Usually it's $5. Same as a foot long from Subway. I mean, if you think about it like that, you can get a foot long Italian from Subway, or you can see Andrew Cuomo's nipple pierced. Probably gonna skip the sandwich that day, just so I can see what the fuck's going on there.
Oh, that's your diet plan? Is to look at his nipple every time you're hungry?
Put down the sandwich.
Yeah.
Put down the sandwich. RNC is in full effect. You had a really great Melania impression last night that I want to share with the world today because you're sneakily talented. And I don't know if sneakily is a word, but I use my own vernacular. I don't really give a shit. But you're sneakily talented. And when she was getting ready to come on and speak, you went into a Be Best rant that was legendary last night that I lost my shit over. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to make you do that on air tomorrow.
Oh, of course you are. So anyways, they were talking about her Be Best campaign. And so I sort of tried to reenact like how that meeting went when she was trying to talk about her Be Best. You just be best. And then you need to now play the person that I'm pitching this to, right?
Sure.
So you're trying to get me to get involved. You're trying to get me to get involved, right?
Melania, what would be something that you want to establish, a program as the First Lady of the United States?
I would like it maybe Be Best.
Okay, great.
Be best?
But be best at what? What are you being best at?
You be best, I be best, everybody be best,
Okay.
And so...
Do you want you should be the best? Do you want other people to be the best?
And be best?
So just be best.
Yes.
That's it. Nothing more. Just be best.
Yes. For every woman, every man, every child, be best. And so what would that, now what are you going, right? Like, what does that entail? We just tell people be best. And that's your whole, and that's the program. And that's what we're going to work on for the
last night
4 years.
I died laughing in damn near tears. And I was like, dude, I'm going to bring this up today. I want you to do it on the show. It's my favorite thing you've ever done in your entire life. And I laughed for 1,000 years last night over this. So you go to bed. I pop on her speech. And look, God love her. One of the hottest people in the world. Now, if she had an OnlyFans, congratulations.
Sure.
Billion.
Right.
What with a B, people would pay for that.
Right.
Because we've seen her, you and I have seen her in real life. You've sat next to her at a thing. Like, it's crazy how hot she is.
Striking.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, as most kind of old school people like Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston. Like, when you see them in person, you go, oh, I mean, fucking yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
That I am nowhere near what this person is. And like on screen, it kind of brings them down to your level a little bit. When you see them in person, yeah. So she is all of that. Now, a great speaker? No.
Well, she's not American, so,
She's been here for...
How long would you say?
30 years.
Really? So we're starting to dip into like Selma Hayek
type territory. Yeah. And what was trending this morning, which I love, is literally her English is all that it said.
Yeah.
Her English was trending. And I just thought, okay, now what happened?
Yep.
Nothing happened, right? It's just nothing happened. Right?
Yeah.
No, you didn't get an insight into who she is or what she really thinks or how she interacts in the world. You got a fembot reading the prompter.
Yeah.
And look, that's fine. I just don't understand why we need that speech.
So I'll kind of short up for you here. Because here's the thing. I don't give a baker's fuck about the first lady. I never have, never will. In my lifetime, there has not been one time where I was like, man, I'm going to go to the polls and vote. Wonder what their wife is like. Never thought that once.
Right.
Right? Not one single time in this, my time on this earth have I ever thought that. And I think the pressure was put on first ladies after Betty Ford, to be honest with you. She got in there and was just like, I want to do some stuff. There's a rumor Eleanor Roosevelt did as well, but let's face it, they were both fucking other people. She was upstate scissoring somebody who fucking knows what their whole situation was, and we weren't alive then. But the Betty Ford thing was something that she established when Ford was president, and it was like, oh shit, First Lady did something amazing. Maybe this is what should happen, right? And then you go to, we're going to skip over Jimmy Carter because it was a weird presidency and he doesn't really count, to be honest with you.
Sure.
But we're going to Reagan. So Reagan was in there for 8 years, and Nance was in there. Nancy was in there, and she established the war on drugs thing. That was kind of her deal.
Just say no.
There you go. So
be best.
Be best. Yeah. You have this whole campaign.
Just say no.
Michelle Obama's, if I remember correctly, was the lunch, food, and
I have to say I kind of liked that one, but carry on.
Right, but there is this pressure to do something as first lady, whereas like I don't care and I don't really. That's not why I'm voting. Do I think it's hilarious that he's married to her? Yeah, yes, it's great. Like that's exactly who a billionaire should be married to.
4 years ago, my husband, you took a chance on my husband, and now here we are ruling the world, and you are best, and I am best, and robot fembot.
Yeah.
But look, who fucking cares? You're right. Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
I just don't. Why do we need to see her talk?
All of it.
Why do we need to see her speak? Like that
yes.
seems like something the Democrats would want.
Exactly.
Trump does not. Don't. No.
So
no.
Here's the deal with the first lady thing, and this was like one of the biggest criticisms about Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. Right.
Right.
Becoming what? What were you becoming? You became the first lady because you married a president? Like you were fucking the president, and you were fucking a dude who became president, and that's what you became. Like
I reject that, but carry on.
I do not.
Of course you don't.
Because of somebody else's job, like you're getting paid $30 million for a book? Like of what? What are you going to teach me about the world because you married somebody else who was extremely successful? What am I supposed to be taught?
And so you're saying she did nothing in her life. She didn't go to school. She wasn't a lawyer. She didn't do any public service. The only thing in your mind.
Nope. Here, let me clarify this. There is a million women out there who've done exactly the same thing she did.
Absolutely.
But they did not marry a president of the United States. Do they get $30 million a book? Does anybody care about their lives? No. It is simply because of who they married. And that's it. Because what she has done in her life, yes, is great. She has a lot of personal accomplishments that are just the same as every other woman, pretty much. Except the only difference was she married the president of the United States. There is a million lawyers out there. There is a bunch of women who've gone to law school. There's a ton of successful women that have gone to law school.
And you're saying she had nothing to do with him becoming president.
It could have
any support or any.
I think the support is the same way any wife would support a husband, but there was nothing there. Like in the beginning, if you remember, there was nothing there that was just like, oh man, yep, it's both of them I want to elect. Like it was him. That guy was electric at that time, right? He could have been married to fucking anyone at that point. It did not matter. Therefore, you know, if you're going to make $1 gajillion off a book, let's call it what it is. Like, you married up and it was great. Yes, your life story is impressive, but there is a million other women out there who have the same life story that just didn't marry famous. And that's kind of the way I feel about that. Therefore, I don't want to see Melania Trump talk. I don't want to see Michelle Obama talk. I don't care. You're not the president. You're married to a president, but what is that? How is that going to influence the way I vote in the election? Like the Be Best campaign or the other, like the school food thing. Did you see her school food for Michelle Obama? It's like kale and shit like that. And it was like, for kids? Fuck no, man. All those kids were hungry as shit, and they had to abandon the thing after like 2 days. What did you eat as a kid in school? Do you remember?
No, I mean, it was like hamburgers and hot dogs and tater tots and chili and lasagna day and...
Something that would fill you up throughout the day because you had one meal essentially at school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. We all did. But there was times where, you know, as I started to grow and get bigger, like I'm a fucking huge dude. That food wasn't enough, man. I would tell my mom, I was like, look, I either need to double down on whatever they're giving me or pack another bag on the side and then do that. And that's eventually what we did. She cut that in half essentially. And it's like, all right, well, sweet. What did that do or what did that accomplish, I guess?
Right.
Because a lot of these kids, especially the inner city kids, that might be the only meal they get all day. And it's kale and a couple carrots.
No, it wasn't kale and a couple carrots.
I mean, it was pretty...
It was just trying to get more money, because it does cost money, right? So cutting corners with kids' nutrition was the only thing that she was trying to combat, right? Like making it so there is an apple available or you know what I mean?
But there was always apples and fruit, like at the end of the line. I remember this very distinctly.
At your school?
Well, at everybody's school, I
No,
think.
not at everybody's school. So that was her thing.
There's apples and bananas there at most schools, like in the country. Either way, people were not amped about the healthy meal when they're just like, hey, dude, no.
Look, we don't actually know enough about this because we're not going to like talk about it. But
yeah, we'll talk about it. Fuck, I'll bring up her menu right now. Jabes, let's bring up the fucking, like, if we really want to go into this.
I don't.
Right. And this is my point about all of it. No one fucking cares about the first lady. Ever. Her speech, this chick's speech, any of their fucking speeches, give me the president. I don't care. When I watch a basketball game, I don't give a shit who Kevin Durant's wife is. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a baker's fuck about Ayesha Curry, Steph's wife. Yes, she's a great cook. She's got some cookbooks and some other shit. I don't really care. You know? Kind of with Chrissy Teigen, it's the same way. How did she get famous?
Because she's a hilarious comedian.
And who did she marry?
Hilarious comedian.
Yeah. But that's the deal, right? Do I think Michelle Obama did some good for the world? Yes, I do. Once she got in there, and, you know, but it was because of who she was married to that she even got in there. Now, Melania, on the other hand,
that's just a slippery slope because it's like, just because you're born into a certain family or you're born in a certain area or you marry a certain person, it's just all part of your life. If you're saying she can't tell you her journey and how she dealt with everything and got to the place that she is, like, if there was Trump was fucking born motherfucking rich.
Yeah.
Do we care what he does after that? Do you know how fucking easy it is to do anything if you're fucking rich as fuck and you were born rich as fuck?
100%.
So why do we care? Why do we care what he fucking says? Like, he just fucking got popped out of a vagina that was fucking rich. Right? So it's like, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Totally. So if
it's what you're doing with what you have.
Right. But if he doesn't become president, do we really care about Donald Trump?
Yeah, we fucking cared about Donald Trump. Like, he was famous and in our fucking face forever.
Right.
Because he was born into that. Why are we listening to what he has to say about real estate? He's always fucking had money. Why are we listening to what he says about this and this? He's always had money. He has never had to pull himself up from any bootstraps or start from zero or have ever gone to any place that isn't rich as fuck.
Sure.
So why do we care about what he has to say about money?
Because he became president, right? And to do that is an impossible feat. How many presidents are there in the history of our country?
But there's a million people that are qualified. They just weren't born into rich families. So why do we fucking care what he says? This is what you're saying.
But
I'm just
Obama
saying,
proved,
this is what you're saying.
No, but for everybody. Obama proves you don't have to be rich. You can become president in all kinds of different ways, right?
Right.
But once you are in there, to me personally, I didn't give a shit about Donald Trump until he became president. I didn't watch, what's The Apprentice?
The Apprentice?
Yeah, never watched it. I knew the you're fired thing, but I never watched it. I had zero interest in it. I read, the only thing that I had known about Trump, to be honest with you, was The Art of the Deal. Like I read that book back in the day, and I was impressed by the book, and it was cool, right? And to take, I think he was given like $1 million, and to take that and make $1 billion out of it is impressive, where you're like, oh shit, all right, cool. Because I know kids, and so do you probably, that were born into money and then they just squandered it, and you're just like, well, what the fuck ever, right? All of that was kind of impressive to me, right? But just kind of. It wasn't until he became president and was able to navigate and beat that system that I actually gave a shit about Donald Trump. And the other part about it was, for me personally, the fact that he had so much money and then wanted this shitty job, because being president is a fucking terrible job. It's terrible on you. You see what the stress that those guys go through, all of them, no matter who it is, Republican or Democrat, for all of those years. And it's like, man, why would you do that? And why would you downgrade? I think you only make, $450 a year versus whatever he was making. Therefore, yeah, until he became president, really didn't give a shit about Donald Trump. I just didn't. To me, that's an impressive feat where I was like, oh, all right, cool. And then the policies, me personally, just as a voter, is what I cared about. Like as we were on as he was on the campaign trail, that's when I started to care. Otherwise, meh. The only two things I really thought about Trump were the reality show, the book, and then maybe the appearance in Home Alone. Obviously, because he was the only one that genuinely tried to help Kevin McAllister. He was the one that gave him directions, and nobody else really would help Macaulay Culkin in that. But yeah, who you marry and all that other stuff is luck of the draw, I guess, at that point.
I reject that. It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear.
Why?
As a woman. It just is. Like, it just is. It's just a part of her life, and the sacrifice that women make to stand behind a man when clearly they had a college education, aspirations of their own. It's hard to hear that, like, fuck you, you just married someone.
No.
Remember
the conversation we had the other night?
That's the only reason. What?
If you became Kelly Ripa, right, and you were the morning girl, and you had your own show, and on NBC and all that other shit, and you came back to me and said, hey, as a family, we've got to move to New York. I just got hired off of Ross Patterson Revolution, and I am now the new morning girl for Seacrest. I literally said to you, I would quit all of my shit, everything across the board, and support you.
But that's not people's story. That's not, if there's any
I'd be more than
girls
amped
in this
to be Jesse Wiseman's husband
group,
and take a fucking back
but that's
seat.
not really how it works. So for the most part, women have to sacrifice their dreams and aspirations for either raising children or because their husband's job, as always, makes more money and is more important. That is the norm. Kelly Ripa is an exception on an exception, right? It's usually the other way around. And in every woman that's on here, anyone that's a mom or anyone's whatever, knows exactly what I'm talking about. So it's hard to hear, fuck her, you just married someone famous. Like, that's so fucking hard. Like, it is hard. And as much as we hate Hillary Clinton, it was hard to see that she wanted to be president, had to step back, support her husband, and then never get the shot after that, right? That was a sad thing for women to see, only because we deal with it all the time. With the childcare thing, whatever, there's no way that we make enough to cover taking care of absolutely everything, unless you're right. If you're Kelly Ripa, right? It's uncommon.
There's a million examples.
There's not a million examples, actually. But it's hard. It's just hard to hear, like, fuck you, right?
Every year, Forbes puts out a list for women of the top highest grossing women on the planet. It's crazy, man. Even when I moved to fucking LA, every studio head was a female. It happens. You just have to sacrifice having kids in a family versus your career, but it happens.
Okay, well, there you go.
But it's the same thing for dudes. If you want to be really successful, it is fucking hard to have kids and have a normal life and do all this shit. I feel just in our own company, there's not enough time in the fucking day. Like even today, man, I was frustrated with a million goddamn different things. I was stuck in a call for work all the way in that it was just like, man, I had to deal with this fucking phone call all the way in today that I did not want to be a part of. That element sucks. You know, what I'm hoping, Jabes, is you do become the Kelly Ripa. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm Jessie Wiseman's husband. And when I call my publisher, I want to write a book called Becoming Jessie Wiseman's Husband, and then talk about my struggle being your husband. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. We need to move on from this. A, because of all the comments, and B, because I'm done with this conversation.
What do you mean the comments?
Every guy is on your side.
Yeah. I mean, but that's something we have to deal with too as well.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Okay.
And every dude does.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing that women don't take into consideration is, why is that girl really with me? In every facet of life. Because truthfully, and we talk about this, fuck man, I think we've talked about this, a full show on it. A lot of women go to college for the Mrs. degree. Hey man, just find somebody that'll take care of you and all that other shit. You see a million hot girls on Instagram who love to travel and don't have money and are just with older dudes. Like, there's that element of it too. I mean, Bella, dude, we'll take it back to Bella Thorne. She can just hop on OnlyFans, show a nip, and get $2 million. I don't know a dude who can do that right now. Maybe David Beckham. If he blasted his dong out there, he could get a couple million a day. So this is probably something we'll never agree on, James.
No.
Okay.
We will never agree on it.
All right.
Because we're different. Because we have different experience. And you're always going to think that yours is the best. And you're never going to see that sacrifice it's something.
A $30 million book deal. Becoming. If you're going to tell me it's not for marrying the most famous person on the planet, that's crazy to me. Now, if she wants to run for president, absolutely. And the thing is, if she ran this year, and I was picking against her and Trump, Michelle Obama, she'd win. I think she would win during what is going on in the country right now. And they've asked her a million fucking times, and she doesn't want to do it. She does not want to make that sacrifice. But he did. He did it. Speaking of sacrifices, ghostbed.com is sacrificing some money to get some beds to you in the quarantine. 30% off pillows, sheets, mattresses, adjustable bases, everything in a bundle package right now for Labor Day, coming straight to your beehole. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros is the best in the biz. Look, that's for everyone. The 30% off of the bundle package for Labor Day is for everyone. If you're a member of the military, a first responder, or a teacher, or you work in the government, you get 30% off of everything anyways. This is just for the rest of us dummies out there. And they're always trying to find a way to help you out here. People are stuck, man. It's hard. And they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program with no interest on that. And those deals are applicable with this whole shit. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today to get your mattress. Sleep in luxury, as Dan Holloway said it yesterday. I've never heard him say the word luxury before. And that is, he felt luxurious in that new adjustable base, but he did. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloikers.
Strikeforce Energy's got 4 amazing flavors. Talking about a Ridge, grape, lemon, orange. 10-pack, 40-pack, 750 milliliter bottle. The best in the biz. Lasts longer than 5-hour energy. 6 hours is what it lasts. It's not scientifically proven, but I'm just telling you right now it is. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today and get a tasty, tiny little tin pouch that you can rip open and squeeze into any liquid available and get you all jacked up. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off at StrikeForceEnergy.com. They get a subscription of the month, too, which we've had for years. Last but not least, we got Keeps.com/revolution. That's KEEPS.com/revolution. Helps keeps the hair you gots. Richard Denoff just gave me $2 because he said I'll be sleeping on the couch. Jacob Nichols said, here's $5 to help you pay for your upcoming funeral from my accident. Tell you what, James would be becoming rich then because there's a huge insurance policy against me. So, that could be the name of that book. At Keeps.com/revolution. All you do is you go to the sites, you tell them what you got going on up there, because 2 out of 3 men are going bald in this life. Or if you're just worried about it, if you're just worried about going bald, you can go to the sites, you take a little 5 questionnaire thing for the doctor, and boom, they'll send it to you for free. If you like it and you think it'll help, it's $10 a month after that for the shampoo. I said I was going to test it out till the end of the year. I will say this, after like 3 or 4 months in at this point, my hair does feel thicker, which is weird because I have thick hair and it's like, what the fuck? Maybe it does work, you know? I'm going to give it till the end of the year. So far, so good. 2 of my friends were using it, and now I'm using it. So it's just like, all right, we'll see. I'll give it a go till the end of the year. But so far, so good. And I think it is helping where I'm like, maybe I feel a little better. I want to point out, though, you cannot put this on other parts of your body. That was a thing that I'd gotten from the sponsor that said, hey, man, please tell people that if they want a thicker beard, like a lot of your audience has beard, you cannot apply this to your face. You cannot apply this to your face, nor should you. So please,
really?
Definitely don't do that. No, don't put it on your fucking face, dude.
Okay.
What do you want to be, the dog-faced boy?
No, I'm just saying, like, would it hurt? Yeah.
Yes, I believe it would. Because
you could put, like, that stuff that grows your eyelashes, you can put it on your eyebrows.
Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What product is that?
Like Latisse or any of those eyelash growing.
I would not do that. I would definitely not do that. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy, Jabes. Katrina, by the way, is now trending on Twitter. I know this storm this hurricane is gaining speed. It's at a Cat 4, and man, I'd said this yesterday, I think on Drinkin Bros last night. The last thing, if this were to hit New Orleans in particular, or Houston gets buried by this shit too. If it hits one of those 2 cities, they're already hit hard by the COVID thing anyways. Like, 2020, man, just stop it. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the Doppler radar because I could be a meteorologist because that's a fake degree, and all you have to do is really stand in front of the thing and point to a green screen, right, with the numbers already written on it. Mm-hmm. Even Jim Cantor, all you have to do is during a hurricane, find 2 feet of water in a ditch and then report from that, and that you're a hurricane survivor. And he wasn't where I was, is all I'm going to say about Jim Cantor. But it says this thing is now growing rapidly. and strengthening, and they're wondering if it might hit a 5. Jesus Christ. And this is live, like we're watching it now. They are now saying that this has the potential to land at a Cat 5, Laura, and up to a 20-foot water surge, and shoo, boss.
And it's supposed to hit Louisiana, right?
The border of Louisiana and Texas, so right in that sweet spot. And my God, man. With everything else that's gone on this year, that would just be fucked at this point. The other part of this is I know their college football starts on Saturday. Some teams are playing on Saturday. Like, that will nuke out. That, after all of those kids have fought this hard to play too. And it's just like, God, that would crush everything right now. 600,000 people now have been ordered to evacuate. And people are wondering if Houston could be America's Chernobyl if that hits there. I don't know, man.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, and I know why they're saying this. Because do you remember the last one that was there in Houston?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. J.J. Watt, who plays for the Houston Texans, raised $100 million.
Is that Harvey?
For that. Harvey, yeah. And boy, it took a long, long time for those guys to recover from that. We don't know the area of Texas that well yet. I've been to Houston a few times, mostly in flights and in and out type shit, and then driving these 2 cars out cross country. So, like, I know a little bit, not a lot. I would say I know a lot more about New Orleans. Like, look, when these storms hit New Orleans, and you and I were in a hurricane there. When these
which one was that though? Barry.
It was like a Cat 1 or something. It landed at a Cat 1.
Right.
Things were fine, but everything shuts down. You leave the city. You evacuate.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a ghost town. I think it was you, me, and maybe 6 other people who had stayed. Remember how eerie that was?
Remember the weathermen were in? Was it anyone famous?
Yeah, it was Homeboy. Remember, he was drinking at the bar.
Yeah.
At that absinthe bar we were at on a
and
Sunday
he
afternoon.
was throwing napkins in the air, going,
Yes.
Harvey, no, or Barry, no, Barry. And you're just getting rocked. And you're like, okay, well then clearly this is not a big deal.
Yeah. If a 5 hits New Orleans, knowing what we know now, Jesus, man. Or Houston, I guess, man. It would be awful. I mean, absolutely awful with everything going on right now. The focus today has now shifted from everything political to this storm. I remember seeing this thing a couple of days ago. We had talked about it. Both of these was Marco and Laura were at kind of a tropical storm, maybe a 1.
Yeah,
I don't
if
know
you're
how
in the
this,
Caribbean, then it's going to suck. But
Right. I don't know how this gained so much strength in such a short amount of time. But fuck, man. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and the reason why they're comparing it to a Chernobyl is it would nuke out an entire city, and it would just be a complete disaster area, because the shipping channel there, I guess, is filled with volatile petrochemical ships, and there's no way to get those out in time because of how fast this is strengthened. Mm-hmm. So, eesh, man. I hope not. Did they say when this is supposed to hit? Is it tonight?
yeah.
Do we get alerts like that for
I mean, we what?
I like on the top of the show, I'm like, nah, we're in Central Texas. It'll never hit. Is there something coming up here?
No.
No.
So we're fine. They said, like I said, whatever the news I was watching today was we're lucky to get an inch of rain here. It just won't really affect us.
Okay.
But having said that, you never know.
Yeah.
I know these things are, you can kind of predict them, but not really.
So as this intensifies here, I'm trying to find out when this is going to make landfall here. about 235 miles southeast of Galveston right now, and is only moving at 16 miles an hour. That's obviously a very, very slow pace. That means it can pick up steam, which is what happened to us.
Yeah.
When we were there, and then it ended up just hanging out. Which one was that for us?
Which one?
We've been to like 3.
Yeah.
The one that just lived there, just kept going for like an entire day, right on the shore there. Florence, that was at Florence.
Was it Florence?
Yeah.
That was the bad one. We actually evacuated. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, this one they're saying because of the speed of it could get to that 5 because it's not going very fast and it's just gaining. Man,
maybe you should evacuate.
I'm going to evacuate the studio after this. I'll probably have to evacuate my house after today's conversation, James.
Whatever, dude.
Sleep out in the streets now.
Whatever. We both are right. Right? We both are right for our own experience that we've had in our lives, right?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with talking about shit at all.
We're both right.
Yeah.
We just have different experiences. I happen to see your side of it, and you don't see mine.
I do.
That's the only difference.
I do. I just know powerful women who have made their own shit, and it's just like, all right. Be best, James.
And they don't
it's
have
just like
kids or...
Right. But look, a lot of powerful dudes don't have kids either. But they're just like, no, I got to keep working. Got to keep on trucking down the road, James. Got to keep on trucking down the road. Look, we're going to keep on trucking down the road here. We're back. We're doing live shows. We're here Monday through Thursday, James. Of the people, for the people, by the people, since we are in Central Texas and it won't hit us. Whatever happens, we'll be live. But damn it, man. That could be bad. You know, the last one that was here, a friend of ours, Brandon Harrell, actually, he was delivering supplies in his helicopter during that last hurricane. And a friend of ours, Xander, had posted something about it last night. I guess I just didn't pay that much attention because I didn't think it would gain this much speed, but or strength, I guess. But shit.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. Thanks for everybody who's like popping in like $5 and all that shit.
I know.
Again, we're not asking for money for any of this stuff. YouTube is just doing it, but we're grateful for it.
Yeah.
And if I have to make an OnlyFans account for Jabes, you don't have to text anybody, I guess. Like,
look, I may just make one.
Yeah. Hottest girl on the face of the planet. I'm surprised Tiffany hasn't.
We talk about it.
Yeah. What's she doing?
We talk about it. Yeah. Because she's on social media all the time.
All the time.
So it would just be like...
She's on social media all the time. Just one more step.
Right?
For her, yeah.
But, again, it's slippery slope. We have to think about what we would want our husbands to do. Right?
What do you mean?
Like if you guys had an OnlyFans and you had to interact with real...
people?
Girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be a different story. So if we wouldn't want you guys to do it, then we can't really do it. Like if we would feel uncomfortable with you interacting with women that are real people that you are actually messaging and it can go however they want it to go because they've paid you, that makes me uncomfortable.
Sure.
And it should make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. But I wonder if you could just do it for a couple days, make a bunch of cash, and then leave. Is that not how it works? We're gonna get Giorgio on this. I want to really, Monday.
He's gonna be on it tonight. I mean,
don't
lie. Dude.
No, but we need him for work to get involved in this and do it, and then report back to us on Monday, and then we'll talk about it on Monday's show. I want to know how this all works out and what she's actually posting. If it's fucking nudes, then I understand the millions of dollars thing. I really do. Because there's a ton of people out there who could do that, guys and girls.
Right.
Who are relatively famous or have huge social media followings and just say, all right, great. I'm going to go ahead and do this and let's see how much money we can make. So we'll find out. We'll have Giorgio do it and report back to us and let us know. Try to do the screenshot thing. Do all of the things, though, so that we have all of our information. For sure. And again, we are in the new studios. They're building the Ross Patterson Revolution set as we speak. So hopefully, I would say in a week, That'll be all built
and
done. So, knock on wood, by Monday, maybe we're up and at 'em. Monday or Tuesday, we'll see. On our own set. Right now, we're on the Drinkin Bros set. And if you stay tuned with us today on YouTube, if they allow you to see the video, we're going live today, this afternoon, Dan and I, for today's show. And then we will all be together for Fake News on Thursday here. And we have a desk now that is big enough for
everyone.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll feel like a little tiny Bill Maher's up there, you know?
Are you going right here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Jesse,
how nice for you. How nice for you.
Divvy up the convo, you know?
Sure. Center stage.
Last thought on this, because this is all
where you belong.
Right where I need to be. Be best. And I learned that from Melania.
Be best.
From Melania.
Be
best.
Be best.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about this out loud, because this is all just happening live, obviously, and we're live every day for this shit. If this hurricane does become a 4 or a 5, and this is making landfall tonight, that will cut off the coverage for the Republican convention.
Why?
Got to tell people to get the fuck out of their homes.
And it will be,
It'll be wall to wall in the state of Texas, Louisiana, and everything else, which is, you're getting into the meat and potatoes of the people tonight. I mean, Thursday is, tomorrow is Trump speaking. Tonight, I think, is Pence. That's their two.
Does it make a
dudes.
difference?
In the grand scheme of things, I'm glad you brought that up. I try to watch all the coverage from all of the channels, even people I hate. And after listening to the show, I hate Sleepy Chuck Todd. I fucking hate Chuck Todd more than life. But I will watch because I want to know other people's opinions and what's going on. Chuck Todd last night came on and said, I don't think it helps for either party anymore. This, post RNC, DNC bump is what they used to call it, of like, oh yeah, man, you're getting this convention bump because people are excited about what's happened. I don't agree with him on much, but I agree with him on this. Like, when you're doing a virtual thing like this in front of a TV, first of all, I think after seeing what the format was last week for the Democrats, it doesn't really get Republicans excited to watch this either, now that you know what it is, and you're like, do I really need to watch this? I already know who I'm voting for. And that's what he said was he was like, look, typically I would think one would say that it does. This year, no. You're just on a TV, and the numbers are relatively the same. Like, people will tune in for their faves, but the Democrats definitely have more star power on their side because they have had presidents and people like AOC who come out and speak for another candidate.
I just don't think there's any such thing as a swing voter.
Anymore?
Yeah.
There
used to be.
Yeah.
But I think now, because of everything being so divided and so starkly different, I don't see one person being like, let me see what they have to say. They either hate or love. That's it. Right. And nothing is going to change it, right?
No. And
so again, do I think in normal world, RNC, DNC could be beneficial for a couple swing voters? Sure. But right now, pointless.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what they're going to do. 100%.
And everyone has stated their opinion publicly at this point. I feel like we were doing a thing last night with mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros doubles your deposit. We were betting on the games last night, and I watched the press conference at the end of the game, and my God, man, you cannot get away from politics. The coach last night of the winning team, the Los Angeles Clippers, was like, he was talking about the Wisconsin thing that's happening right now, and he was just like, Trump's out there spouting off everything else, and was like, God damn it, man, I'm just here to watch a basketball game.
Right.
I don't want to hear your opinions on politics, but you're right. Everybody has chosen. I don't think there is a swing vote anymore. I don't think there is such thing as an undecided voter who's going to walk into the booth and be like, oh, hey. The only thing I will say. It could
be, the only person that may be an undecided voter could be like someone that fled for Y2K and has been still in the forest thinking that the world has ended. and maybe they just rejoin society, and then maybe that's a swing voter. But if it's anyone that actually lives in the world, then no.
If it was Jared Leto coming out of the deserts that time and not knowing what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But in today's world, no. And I don't, the other part about it is, some people were asking on here about the silent majority thing and whether everything is real. Yes, I do. I think that there's a lot of people on both sides who are afraid to talk about politics in public. It's weird living, I think the last two places we've lived, here and in North Carolina, where it's kind of been 50-50, where you're just like, I don't really know. And you're kind of looking at people and you're trying to guess what they are. And you're like, hey man, are we cool or are you one of those?
Right.
Which is another reason I'm amped for this election to be over. I don't have to hear about it for 4 years.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do.
Oh, you'll hear about it.
You can do. But what you can do if you're listening and or watching at home is go to iTunes and rate Ross Patterson Revolution a 5-star and give a quick review. It really, really helps. That is my huge pitch. And please go there. It'll help scoot us on up the charts. We'll be here every single day, kids. Monday through Thursday live, including tomorrow. And then stick around this afternoon for Drinkin Bros. We'll be live in probably about an hour, Giorgio, somewhere in there. And we'll be giving you the business on there. We'll keep an eye out for Laura, man. Stay safe to anybody who's in those zones. This one crept up so fast that I didn't even really put it on the schedule to talk about today, where I was like, I was not expecting this, nor is anybody else, apparently. So we'll see what happens, but stay safe. I don't know if it lands tonight or tomorrow, but we'll see. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.